The Citizen Promaster has landed. This is the Citizen Promaster JV1005. It is one that we have been waiting for some time from when we first saw this online. It is an analog/digital watch from Citizen, and just a basic watch, no Bluetooth, no nothing, just basic watch functions, and it's rugged. And a lot of us have been waiting for this, and we are stoked to see it. Well, guess what? It's been released officially. Very little fanfare. And this type of watch is bringing the war to Casio G-Shock. Okay, Citizen is taking on G-Shock, because G-Shock, they are famous for their Anti-Digi watches. And well, I'm wearing a ProTrek Anti-Digi right now, but it's an Anti-Digi watch, meaning it has an analog face with the hands and indices and everything, but then a subdial that's digital. Okay, and the noteworthy thing about this Citizen Promaster is that its digital display is MIP, not LCD, MIP. Okay, so we all love the MIP here. Let me just get out my G-Shock box, because for dadgum sure I have some MIPs. I have the GBDH 2000 with an MIP. Citizen did not release this to much fanfare. Okay, I was waiting for that email. I thought there'd be a lot of promotional material for when this Promaster finally was released to the United States. But I found out about it because there was this video on YouTube, all right, from Citizen Watch US that has, these guys, going hiking, going diving, mountain climbing, going up an icy cliff. And, they're doing some like extreme sports, adventure type of expeditions. And then there's drone shots. And then there's like, obviously they're active. And then there's a brief 1 second frame in this entire 30-second commercial where they actually show the watches. Okay. And overall, this commercial reminds me a lot of like a Toyota commercial, where it's like, just guys doing active stuff. And then, they briefly show the product, so you make the association of action and adventure with whatever project they're shilling for. But the thing is, they only showed the watch for 1 second, and so I kept on rewinding the YouTube video to see what are these watches. And there's three of them. One says go deeper, the second one says go higher, and the third one says go further. All right, well, the go deeper one's obviously a diving watch. Go higher is one of their Citizen Promaster Skyhawks. And then to go further, I looked closely and I was like, I see that analog face behind the hands is a digital display. So have they finally released this combination watch, as Citizen calls it? Well, I go to Citizen website, go to the homepage, and the homepage has, these young hipster types, wearing cool, fashionable clothes while they're wearing their watches that look like the Tissot PRX. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I don't see anything about this brand new watch on the Citizen homepage. All right, well, let's go to the hamburger menu, and that's what they call it, where you have the three lines. Click on it, expands, men's, collection, Promaster. And so now I'm on the Promaster section of the Citizen website looking for this brand new combination watch, the JV1005, I believe it's called. And then the top three watches are brand new, and none of them are that watch. The Skymaster's there. And so I'm scrolling down, and I still don't see it. All right, we're already like 12 watches into this list, and I don't see this brand new Promaster. So then I go to sort by, and I sort by new arrivals. And you have like the circles going around. Oh, here it is. Okay. Promaster Land. Bing, bang, boom. $695. $695 for the Promaster Land, the Anti-Digi watch, which in Citizen World they call combination. It's a combination watch. And this particular one that we're looking at now, and I know that those of you watching on the podcast cannot see it, but it's a cool looking watch, okay? And this particular one has a Cordura band, and it looks like there's like leather on the inside. It's not Cordura, it's touching your skin. I think it's like pleather or leather or something. But look at that display, really nice display. And so the second one of this Promaster Land is the steel watch, the steel color, and the resin band, black resin. And that one looks a little bit bigger. I'll probably, if I'm going to get either one of these, it's going to have to be this one, because I'm not sure that Cordura band would be long enough for my wrist. But this resin band looks like it should be able to grab the last notch, and I'd still be able to wear it, hopefully. $695, a lot of money. But let's look at the specs. It's the JV1007. This is the steel one with a resin band, and the watch, the Promaster watch with the green dial and the green Cordura band is the JV1005, okay? And it says it was released August 26th. Okay, so I had no idea until, a couple days ago, all right? These watches are eco-drive, meaning they're solar powered, okay? And so you should never have to change their batteries. And the website's reporting the case width as being 43.9 millimeters, okay? What is that in real numbers? I don't know. But, it's a pretty big watch. The lug width, 22 millimeters, which I believe is 7/8 of an inch, but 22... less than 22 for me is too small. I mean, it's like too narrow, but 22 is a good width for a watch band. And so this green watch has, it's green dial with a gunmetal case, has a Cordura strap, green Cordura strap, right? And the metal of the watch case is stainless steel, and it has sapphire glass. And the water resistance is 200 meters, all right? So that's the same water resistance of a G-Shock. And so this watch looks really, really rugged. It has like a more of a basic standard kind of watch shape, where the case looks a lot more like a regular watch than your G-Shocks. And there's knurling on some of the buttons and crown on the watch, and a coin edge to the bezel, or is it knurling? How do we zoom in? I don't want to zoom in. I think it might be knurling on the bezel. I do not think the bezel moves. So, what's missing? Well, okay, on that promotional video, this Promaster Land, the JV1000 whatever, the combination watch, has a steel bracelet. But then when you go to the American Citizen website, they do not have that version. They do not have the steel bracelet version. Okay? They only have the resin band or the Cordura band for what they call the Promaster Land. And I guess this is like the name of this new watch, Promaster Land. And I referenced it by its model number, the JV1007-07E. Okay? So I guess we're going to be calling it the Promaster Land. That's why I said at the onset of this video, the Promaster has landed. Right? I thought that was a good intro. Were you hooked? Now, here's the thing. A number of months ago, when we first saw this watch, and I don't even remember how I first found it, but I was stoked to see it. Okay, I was pretty excited. It was like a global citizen website. So I went to citizenwatch-global.com just now, and scrolling around on it, when you scroll down, there's a whole section dedicated to Promaster. Double click on that. Single click, whatever. I just clicked on it, and then like one of these fancy websites pops up with like really over-designed website, and it has a special edition of this Promaster Land that has a metal bracelet and a special watch face. And then it's showing you all the places where you can wear your Promaster, starting off with the technology and history of Promaster. So they have like all these black and white photos. And then it's like the sea. You can wear the Promaster scuba diving underwater, right? And then next it's like it shows you someone like flying with, or someone climbing in ice. And that's like Promaster Land, right? And then I think next is like a fire explosion. This watch you can wear into Hades. It's a Hades proof watch. You know, if you are cast into, the underworld, I guess, you can wear your Promaster till find the river Styx and cross out of there the other way, I guess. Anyways, so there's 3 categories of the Promaster. There's the sea, the land, and the sky. Okay. And so we are interested in land, and we click on land and Promaster Land, the Eco Drive combination watch. And here they have listed the Cordura band. Oh, they have the Altachron too. Okay. So there's a bunch of them. Let me click on this Eco Drive combination watch, a special edition. It looks all fancy. It's a limited edition. So we are just now getting the Citizen Promaster Land in the United States, and already the global website as a limited edition of this watch. So maybe some of you international listeners to the Jim Kinkade podcast and Jim Kinkade YouTube channel, maybe some of you gentlemen already own this watch if it's available in your market. But this one is newly released to our market in the United States. No fanfare. And look, there's a satellite wave GPS F-150. Is this like the Ford F-150? They got a watch that has a satellite time sync, meaning it uses GPS signals to calibrate the time, which is, I think that's fantastic. Guys, Citizen watches, they're making watches that they're meeting the specs of what we've been asking for here on the Jim Kinkade YouTube channel. In the comments, you guys don't want the Bluetooth. You want a nice rugged watch. And me and a lot of you guys, we want the the radio time sync. And that is not available on this new Promaster Land we're looking at. But they do have a satellite wave GPS, which means that it uses GPS signals just to calibrate the time. All right? And so that's a good option for those of you who do not live near the multiband 6. Right? But I know that Citizen does make watches that use the multiband 6. I believe they just call them radio controlled. And from looking at the specs of the new Promaster Land, I do not see anywhere that it actually uses that multiband 6. Well, Casio calls it multiband 6. It doesn't use that, the radio controlled, I guess is what Citizen calls it. But anyways, I'm here on the citizenwatch-global.com to show you guys that there's 3 watches listed for what they're calling the Eco Drive combination watch. And one of them had a steel bracelet, but we do not see that one in the United States. Okay. And the loom. You guys love loom, and I just saw a picture of loom. And by the way, the loom on what I'm wearing today, which is a Anti-Digi, it's a ProTrek. Okay, it's like the GA 2100, the GAB 2100. Reskinned as a ProTrek with a bungee cord band, right? And this cost $170, so a lot cheaper than $700. But all right, I guess there's good loom on these Promasters, is what this website's trying to say. So what specific watch is this Promaster Land competing against when it comes to G-Shock? Well, when you go to G-Shock, They have, what they call anti-digi and Citizen calls combination. They have a lot of them. Okay, the GA 2100 and the whole 2100 series is a big seller for Casio G-Shock. And one watch I picked out, or a recent release, is the metal-clad GBM 2100. Okay, and this one has Bluetooth and everything, and it has metal, but it has just a metal bezel. Okay, the actual case is plastic on G-Shocks, and so the actual case is metal on Citizen. I know that some of you guys are big into metal. You love metal watches, and no amount of engineering data can convince you otherwise. You do not care about shock resistance because it's metal. You want metal. Doesn't matter what design engineers or material engineers say. Okay, well, a lot of these anti-digi watch of the Casio variety have a plastic case with a metal bezel. So a zoomer, zoomers say no cap, for real. Well, with the G-Shocks that have a metal bezel, yes, cap. It's capped in metal, okay? And but this $250 watch, the GBM 2100, I don't think is a direct competitor to this new Citizen, because it's a lot cheaper, $250, and it has additional Bluetooth. I don't know. I mean, the GM2100C-5A. So this one, it does not have Bluetooth, and it has a fabric band. And this one could be it's similar to the Promaster Land that has the green Cordura band. Okay, and I just picked that one out of the website because kind of the same type of watch. Now I going into my watch box, the G-Shock toolbox, full of G-Shock watches. I have the GA 2100 BCE that has a Cordura band, and I think it's a really comfortable, really amazing watch, really small but plastic. Okay, and so I do not think that this would be a direct competitor. This one costs less than $200. I can't remember how much I spent for it, but $700 for that Citizen watch. When I first saw the pictures of it a few months ago, I was like, oh yeah, I really want to get this. I want to try it out. But now seeing that price, kind of a lot. All right, but there are some G-Shocks that cost a lot too. The G-Shock Mudmaster, which G-Shock bills as its flagship watch, strength and functionality for mastery of extreme conditions. And we're looking at the GWG B1000, and this one retails for $800. Okay? And I believe that this is the one that we should compare to the Citizen. Okay? So let me pull up the Citizen. Let me pull up the Mudmaster. So we got $800 G-Shock versus a $700 Promaster. All right? And the Promaster has a classical watch styling in the case where you have just standard lugs, metal case, analog dial, okay? And of course, the G-Shock Mudmaster is the overbuilt, rugged watch with a lot of different components, very non-conventional. The strap straddles a center lug coming off the watch, the male end of the watch case itself has a male end that attaches to the band. And I mean, I have on my list, my wish list, I do have this Mudmaster, the GWG B1000, $800. And so, which one would I prefer? Well, I don't own either of them. I haven't tried either of them out, but style-wise, the Promaster Land has that classic watch style that I think that a lot of you guys would appreciate. And it has it looks like it has a bigger MIP screen. And looking at the functionality of the Promaster Land, the Promaster Land has basic watch functions. As the time, the stopwatch, a timer. I think it has a second time zone. So, it has a function dial. So yeah, it has world time, chronograph, timer, alarm, and you can set it. And so, yeah, no Bluetooth. Unfortunately, no radio sync, but classic watch styling, $700 versus the G-Shock. And this G-Shock Mudmaster, of course, has, integration with the Casio Watches app, Bluetooth, and this Mudmaster does have multiband 6. The subdial, which is digital, is just an LCD, but a really nice LCD, not an 8-segment display. I think it's a dot matrix LCD. Solar charging, both of them have solar charging, but super rugged. So I'm going to throw it to you guys. Which would you prefer? Okay, when it comes down to it, this Promaster Land or the Mudmaster? Now, the thing is that we haven't actually tried out either one of these, but for my purposes, I test the ruggedness of watches. I test the durability. And when I look at the Promaster Land, I like the function set. I like the classic styling, but it has regular styled pins. The strap is held to the watch by pins. And my motto is, if there are pins, they'll pop. Inevitably, that happens. The pins pop off a watch. You lose the band. The band comes loose, you lose the watch. Right? It's just the nature of pins. I don't like pins. And the Mudmaster has bolts. It's like bolted in to the watch case. Right? And so, since I'm all about durability and ruggedness, I think that, if my war chest had the funds to buy either one of these, I would be getting the G-Shock Mudmaster. But I am really intrigued by this Promaster Land, the JV1005 and the JV1007. And I'd like to try them out. I'd like to see. I mean, maybe, surprisingly, maybe they could be as rugged as a G-Shock. The only way to know is to test it out. And maybe there's a way that I can get my hands on it. We can try it out. But G-Shock also has a lot of watches they're going to be releasing soon. The GM 2110D is set to come out, and that one is an anti-digi watch, and this one has a steel bracelet. And we looked at that one in a previous episode, and this one is highly anticipated. Remember, you guys voted for your favorite color, and navy blue just absolutely mopped up all the other colors for the dial. Navy blue, I think that navy blue got over half the votes. And so I'm going to make another video about this, but I believe that navy blue will end up being a sellout based on your response. So I don't know if G-Shock made enough of that navy blue GM 2110D, but after seeing my poll, they better not hide any in the back of the warehouse, on a pallet, and be like, oh, it's out of stock. Oh, guess what? We found the pallet. Because people are probably going to tear through the navy blue in terms of sales. I'm talking about the GM 2110D. Even though the subject of this video / podcast is supposed to be the Promaster Land JV1001, but you know how it goes over here. Things go off the rails real quick. All right. I just wanted to let you guys know that this watch came out. Okay. And how many of you gentlemen are going to pick it up? All right. Maybe I will. We shall see. But it's just really peculiar how it came out with no fanfare, when I would think that it would be it deserves more attention, this Promaster Land. And so I'll see if there's one that I can borrow somewhere. And some watch YouTubers probably get their hands on it, like Big E at Watch Once Over. He always has like the watches, right when they come out. And, you know, maybe Maverick, Watch Review, or Random Rob or someone will also get their hands on it, one of those tabletop reviews. But this place is a little bit different. The Jim Kinkade YouTube channel is different. We're not really into tabletop reviews. We're into reviews where we're out there doing stuff, whether it be hiking or swinging a hammer or changing diesel filters on oil-filled equipment. This is where we test watches. We don't admire how pretty they are. Even though this Promaster Land is pretty, right now I'm looking at the steel case with the resin band and, polyurethane. Polyurethane. I just looked at the specs. It's polyurethane band. All right. So they put a coat of poly on this band, and I think it looks really nice. And they have a picture of a mountain climber wearing it, and it looks nice on him. All right. So definitely a classy watch, and it still looks really rugged, but it doesn't have the proven ruggedness of a G-Shock yet, and we have to test it to see whether it would. Gentlemen, remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kinkade. Thanks for watching.